I'll record to the. Okay, everybody. Hi, my name is Tanika. I'm the admin of the DisputeFox unofficial group, and we are back again with my friends from Level Up Score. And doing this call this evening, we pretty much want to do like a refresher from the previous video, if you've seen the previous video, so that our friends from Level Up Score can kind of show us what's new, what they've been working on. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to like raise your hand and ask questions while you're on the call. You could also put questions in the chat or just save your questions to the end. And I'll leave like 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of extra time so that folks can get their questions answered. Okay. All right, I'm gonna hand it over.
So I'm Alicia Ault with Level Up Score. I'm the founder. Today we're going to go over Level Up Score, like kind of a high level of some of the changes. So if you've seen the video before, we do have some changes that have happened with Level Up Score, and we're continuing to grow and change. So we always like feedback from any users that are using Level Up Score. So please feel free to give feedback back. But I'll go ahead and we're going to jump into a demo of Level Up Score. I'm going to show you some high level stuff, and then I'm going to open the floor for any questions and kind of just talk through it. Tanika, real fast, while I'm getting ready for sharing the Level Up Score platform, would you mind like sharing a little bit about your own process with Level Up Score?
Yes, so you guys know I'm the innovation automation queen. So, first I'm gonna take a step back and say I met you at CreditCon this past year. I'm so sad though that I'm just now finding out about this tool because I'm pretty sure I'm one of the CROs who was literally doing this stuff manually, and like I never knew this existed. So for folks who don't know, who haven't seen the software, Level Up Score is essentially like a customized action plan for your clients. So I know a lot of the softwares now, think of it of like we have credit audits, and I know we have like monthly progress reports, but the action plan, it takes it a step further, right? Than the monthly progress reports that we have in our CRM. Is the action plan is actually listing out step by step of the different things that the clients can be doing, working on while we're working on fixing that credit. So it's really been a godsend for me because I always have clients to be like, Tanika, like, what can I do? Should I pay this off? Like, how much should I pay my card now? Can I do? So I just hit the button again. I'm like, did you not look at your action plan? Girl, I sent that, so the action plan literally just kind of tells them that, it saves a lot of conversations. But I use Level Up Score in two ways. It really just depends on like how I'm feeling. So sometimes I do use it, with injections with the consultations or the credit audits, right? I use that as an additional lead magnet. So in addition to the credit analysis, I will go ahead and put them in and send them the action plan as well, right? But mostly though, I normally save it for clients, kind of as an incentive to kind of sign up. So like once they sign up, the Level Up Score action plan is a part of my onboarding process. Okay, it's a part of my onboarding process. And I know she's going to show you guys in a second. Level Up Score, I think, essentially integrates with all the CRMs. So that's like super great. So that when we do put clients into the system, we don't have to manually go in and then put them into Level Up Score. It's literally already done. You're just going over and emailing them the plan. So I use it for leads. I use it for clients. I think when the weather breaks, because you guys know I'm in Baltimore, so it's cold up here. But I think when the weather breaks, I am going to get back into doing like my health fairs and my community events. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to use that as well, so that when folks are actually coming around to my table and learning about my business, actually giving them something that's tangible that they could walk away with. I think it's going to be beneficial. And it's really, inexpensive. You know what I mean? So even if I'm doing something like that at a community event just to get my name out there in the buzz, it's still worth it to me. So it's, multiple ways, but I'm excited to see the new stuff that you guys have so I can see how I can implement it.
Yes, awesome, awesome. So a couple of little pointers that you just brought out that I want to highlight. Number one is we met at CreditCon. And so I was telling a few of my people that I did demos with today for Level Up Score about CreditCon. So here's my other plug for CreditCon, guys. I went to CreditCon a few years ago, and it was literally a game changer for my organization because I thought I knew everything. I had a very successful business. I didn't think I could learn anything from anybody. And that's kind of the way that that's how it was. And I went to CreditCon. I don't even know what possessed me to go, but I went thinking, oh, we'll just see, I think I just wanted to prove that I was the best out there. I don't know. It's like big ego, right? But I got there and I was like blown away. And I'm going to be posting a video about my story about CreditCon and probably tomorrow. But I was blown away about what I learned from other, leaders in the industry, but certainly like some of the vendors there. I was able to automate my business. I didn't have to work so hard. It was like all this stuff that I learned. So my plug for that is go to CreditCon. Okay. So check that out. And Tanika just put in her code for $100 off coupon for CreditCon. So I do encourage you guys to do that if you haven't already done that, or if you're not already doing that.
For folks on the playback, just because I know you guys are going to play it back, the code is Tanika 100. So TANEEKA 100. If you put that into the CreditCon website, you get $100 off your ticket. I also want to point out real quick that I noticed that's new this year, because I did have a lot of CROs. I know like times is tight. But the conference, they're actually offering payment plan options now as well. So you don't have to pay for that ticket all at once. You can definitely opt for the payment plan option at checkout.
Yeah, that's a
And
great
yes, I will be there. So
yeah. And I will be there. So if we haven't met
like
in
come see
person,
us. Yeah.
come see us for sure. I will have a booth there, obviously. So please come see me. But let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We'll jump into Level Up Score and kind of go over a few things with you. So hopefully you can now see my screen. I'm in the dashboard of Level Up Score. And so this dashboard just gives you a high level of like how many clients you have in, how many reports have you done, and that kind of thing. So this is what this part is here. But where you want to go when you click on your link and you create your free Level Up Score account, you do get a demo account for free, so you can try it out. I encourage you to do that if you haven't already done so, because it's powerful and I want you to see it in action before you jump in and you pay for it. Okay. So when you come into Level Up Score, you will have a dashboard like this. The first thing I encourage you to do is go into your teams and settings and create your white label, because this is a white labeled product. That means that when your clients get this action plan, they will not know that Level Up Score is behind this. This is going to have just your name on it, your colors, and that type of thing. Okay. We do have, like Tanika said, we have several integrations. We integrate with almost all software companies at this point in time. And if you are with the software company that we are not integrated with, please feel free to let me know, and I will certainly work on that. Because as Tanika was saying, it's super important to have that integration, because if you do coaching with me, you're going to hear me say all the time, automate, 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 right? Our businesses can run on a lot of automation, and that automation actually helps bring additional value to our consumers. So it might seem like we're automating so we have less work to do, but by automating, our clients are getting the regular and consistent communication with us that they might not get. Giving you a perfect example, I think most of you know me. I have several credit repair companies, but one of them is my full service. So it's a lot of communication in that one. And I was sick for 4 weeks at the end of December. And I couldn't do my business. But because I had all the automation set up, I did not miss a beat. Okay. None of my clients knew that I was sick. All right. So I think I just want you guys to know that automations are really important, and Level Up Score can be automated so that it's kind of hands-free once you set up your white label. So I'll just kind of high level this. This is the area where you would put your white label in. If you sign up for the link with Tanika will give you for a Level Up Score, it will have you do an onboarding call, and I can go in and help you set up your white label if you have any questions about it. We do have pretty much all the credit monitorings that we use, but if you have a white label like Smart Credit or Array, that information would go here so that we can read those credit reports for your consumers. Okay. Information, you'll customize your action plan. These are customizable fields here. We do this plan in English and in Spanish. Okay, so if you have people that are doing, if you have an audience that's Spanish, you can do that. Here's the automation features for Level Up Score. So you have two different options for automations. One, you can automate the action plans to be created once there's a free credit report. So if you're using, for instance, let's say Smart Credit, when Smart Credit has a free credit report every 30 days, essentially Level Up Score crawls in, grabs that report, pulls it into the system, and creates the action plan for you. You would then get every morning an email that says, hey, we have an action plan for you to review. And if you are doing it with the second option of auto deliver, then Level Up Score creates a plan and automatically delivers it to your consumer. So you're not having to come in and deliver it. So it just kind of depends on how you guys want to structure your business, if you want to automate it to that level. But I'll show you some ways that I use it. I have both of these automated for my full service company. And then what I do is on my full service is I go back into the action plans and I add some personalized notes and resend those if I need to. Okay. So this percentage here, I have the percentage set at 20% of the credit limit. This is also something people have asked recently. So this is a new change in Level Up Score. There are some credit repair companies that would like this to say 10%, right? This factors into the goals on the action plans. I'll show you that here in a moment. I personally, I've done the research. I've been doing this, I've been in this industry for 21 years. And if a person has a decent depth of credit file, the magic number is 20%. I don't like to lower that unless the person has a very thin file. And the reason for it, one of the reasons for that is if this is too low and unattainable, people get discouraged, right? So I keep mine personally at 20%, but this is adjustable as well. Okay. So I'm going to go into up here at the top and just show you a few things. On Level Up Score, you can have multiple users in your organization. So as many users as you want. So if you have a bunch of credit coaches that you have in your organization, you can add those. There is no additional charge for users. You can have as many as you want. Okay. I'm going to go to action plans credits here. So just so you know what it costs, because like Tanika said, it's very, very cheap to use Level Up Score, and there's immense value, and I'll show you that value. But if you do a starter plan with us, it's $5 per report. You're paying $50, okay, for 10 credits. So that's 10 reports that we would create for you. You can have these, either any of these plans on a subscription. So let's say you bought the 10 credits and you have it on a subscription where after those 10 credits are used, you want to add another 10 credits. You can certainly do that. I do recommend that because you never want to like run out of credits and then you have to come in here and try to buy more. So you can put it on a subscription for that. Personally, I'm going to tell you that I would recommend that you at least do the pro level when you're buying, because they're only $3. That's a $2 discount off of these plans. The credits do not expire. So if it takes you a year to use 50 credits, call me because you need to do coaching with me. I'll teach you how you can use 50 credits in 1 month. Okay. So I'll help you build your business, but they don't expire. Okay. A lot of people ask me, well, what do I get with this elite package? First of all, you get another 50 cents off. So now the plans are only $2.50, but you get some additional white label with this. So with the action plans here, with these two the starter plan and the pro plan, your action plan is white labeled. But if you want Level Up Score to automatically send the information out to the consumers, send their magic link and all that, if you send it through Level Up Score without being elite, then there is going to be a notation in the URL of the email that will say Level Up Score. Now, most consumers don't see it, but if you were the type of person like, I just want it really white labeled, you would want to do this one, and we'll white label the whole thing. Okay. And customize some additional things for you. All right. So I just want to go over that with you. Does anybody have any questions about that? Because that's new. Because if you watched the video before, we had a monthly charge for our service, and we've changed that to credits. Tanika, and I don't know, I can't really see the chats. Well, yeah, I can. Let's see. I'll let you, if you don't mind, check
Oh,
the chat.
yeah, sure. Yep, I can read. Somebody just put comments and it just sounds good. So yeah, that's a good point. That is one of the, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I did notice when I was playing around that you guys could change the percentages. And then now I feel bad because I am one of those people. I actually went in and put mine down to 3% because I was told it's 3%. But you actually bring up a good point that it could be discouraging, like putting it down so low. So I'm gonna go back and my Level Up Score tonight and put it back on 20%.
And I think you will find too that, one, it's discouraging if it's too low. The consumer's like, well, I can't ever attain that, right? Or they're like, why did I get the credit card in the first place? That kind of thing. But I think if you do have it at 20%, you may find that it is a magic number. But the other thing I would say is, like, when I'm coaching someone, if I'm doing full service coaching, I work on getting them down to 20%, but then we're going to talk about going back to the top and just paying them all off, right? So, because financially it would be better if we don't have a balance on them, obviously. But
So you have a question in the chat. Someone asked, so the credits are based on each action plan sent out, correct?
Correct, yeah. So if I have 10 clients and I'm sending an action plan out every month for the 10 clients, then I need to have obviously the starter at least, right? So but you can set you can set these on a subscription so you can kind of forget it, right? So if you're like, hey, I'm going to do the pro plan, it's going to give me 50 credits. I'm going to set it up on the subscription so that when my 50 credits are gone, it already autofills. I recommend that because, like I said, I do business on automation, right? I'm not going to come back in here and buy more credits, right? So hopefully that answers that question. Okay. Now, that another important thing I'll just point out about the credit. So let's say I have a client and let's just pick on, move this out of my way. Let's pick on Bobby Keaton. I'm gonna show you an action plan. Okay. And let's say, I'm going to talk more about this in a second. I'm just going to show you something. Let's say I went on Bobby's and I put in that his goal was to buy a house. Now, keep in mind the action plans are created. The algorithm for this is created based on your consumer's goal. So it is important that you have the right goal in there. But let's say I put my default is they want to buy a house. I already ran the report that they want to buy a house. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, he doesn't want to buy a house. He wants to buy a car, right? So I can go back into Bobby and I can come down here and edit. He wants to buy a car, hit submit. Hopefully I'm going to mess it up because this is so let's pretend I did that. Okay. Because this is a demo account. I can hit submit and I can recreate that action plan and it does not charge one of my credits. Okay. It only charges a credit is if we get a brand new credit report. And remember, if you're linking it to your credit monitoring for your clients, you get a brand new credit report every 30 days, right? Not every day. So I can change it. I can say the goal is now buy a car. I can come in here and I ran it in English and I'm like, oh shoot, Bobby's Spanish. I had to write it in Spanish. I'm not getting charged another credit. Does that make sense for everybody? Okay. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. But let's go ahead and look at this plan. So this is Bobby Keaton. Here's his plan.
Question. Yeah. Someone said while we still in the credit reports, they're asking, so Smart Credit won't initiate the 30-day report download on its own. Will Level Up Score trigger the new report automatically every 30 days?
We do.
I already said, I know the answer to that question. I'm like, yeah, so even though, because I use Smart Credit too, so even though Smart Credit won't initiate the report, we all know that Smart Credit will still email us and email your client to say a new report is ready. That is what Level Up Score has access to. Even if you don't automatically initiate it yourself, they still have access to that because of the integration.
And I tell you what, for me, for my full service, that's been a lifesaver because Level Up Score goes in, it crawls, it updates, gets that new report. And so when I'm in my CRM system, that makes me log into Smart Credit and update the report and then go back in. That sucks. So Level Up Score does it for me. So when I'm in my CRM, I can just hit go, and I have the new report. Where before the automation with Level Up Score, I didn't have that. So I had to go into the CRM system, update the report, then, go into Smart Credit, update it, go in the CRM system. It was all this back and forth, but because Level Up Score has those crawlers, you won't have to do that anymore.
And I can see why people would think that. That's actually a good question because unless you're using, like, for example, with the credit monitoring on the CRM side, unless you're using your CRM's credit monitoring, we still do have to like go out, manually update it and come back. So, but no.
Oh, trust me, it's painful too, right?
Yeah. You don't have to do.
It's another step. I know it's not horrible, but now I have to copy and paste their username and password into Smart Credit or whatever, credit monitoring I'm using. And then I got to run, order the new report and then go back in my CRM, upload it from there. So again, like I said, because Level Up Score will do that for you every 30 days, you can literally go back in your CRM and just hit, upload report and you won't have to do the back and forth. So yeah, that's been huge for me. Maybe it's 5 minutes extra time, but that's a lot of time when you have a lot of clients, right? So it's important that we automate as much as we can. So yeah, Level Up Score will crawl in and grab that for you. So you won't have to worry about that. Great question. Any other questions about that, or you want me to move on to the action plan itself?
Yeah, let's bring up the action plans.
Okay. So here is the action plan. So the dashboard that you're seeing right now is your view. Okay. What the consumer gets is this view over here. So this is what I call the pretty report, right? So you have a view of what they're going to see. And then over on this side is how you customize it. And I bring this up because let's say I have a client that has a really long action plan. They just have maybe, you've seen them. They have 20 credit cards that we're addressing, right? That's a really big action plan. And we want to unclutter it. So if I'm on this sidebar, I probably don't need to talk about their active credit cards, right? So if we look over here, this is active credit cards. We're just say keep making payments on time to keep these account cards open, right? Well, it's got a balance. They're doing it already. So maybe I just want to clean that up. I can unselect that. And now that is not an action step on their plan anymore. Okay. Some other ways that I've seen credit repair companies use it is some credit repair companies, they don't like to show the derogatory accounts on the first action plan. So they'll take those off of the first action plan and add them on the second one. I don't recommend doing that because these are a change report as well. So if I'm, for instance, I show all the derogatories and then next month derogatories are gone, it's gonna notify us that they're gone. And that's obviously clients like to see that, right? So I recommend that you keep those types of things on because it is a change report. All right. But again, you can customize, you can put your own notes in the plan. So if I have, typed in great goal or great job here, I can scroll down and there's my note to them. But maybe there's something special that I want to talk to them about. Maybe I know the client had identity theft, right? And maybe I sent in a letter to a notice to the FTC or the CFPB or whatever I might have done. And I might want to talk to them about that. Or maybe I need them to order a LexisNexis report because we've identified that there's a bankruptcy or a judgment, right? However you do business, you can add your own personal notes in here as well. Okay. On the white label area in the teams and settings, you can also add resources. So anything you add in the resource section will be on the bottom of each and every consumer's plan that's created. So it's like you put it in one time, it's always there. I have seen credit repair companies put videos here. I have one credit repair company, he's pretty big. He's got, I think, 5 pages of resources here. It's almost like a little ebook, if you will. So they have their action plan and they have an ebook and it's beautiful. He's done a great job. So you really can do a lot with that resource section. Okay. But something, talking about resources, something I want to point out to you is Level Up Score is very similar to, if you guys have heard of mortgage companies using a Wayfinder or Score Navigator or Credit Expert, right? The idea is that those systems were created for mortgage lenders to run an action plan to help them give actions to a consumer so that they can get a mortgage loan, right? That was the objective. Well, if you guys don't know this, those plans are $25 a piece or more for the mortgage lenders to buy those for their consumers. And it's painstaking because not only do they have to buy that, but before they buy that, they have to buy the credit report. I was talking to a loan officer just the other day. She pays $89.50 for a tri-merge credit report for her consumer, and then another $25 to run it through her Score Navigator. Okay. So she's already spent over $100 for an acquisition cost for that to hopefully get a loan from that consumer. The ROI on that is very low for her because consumers oftentimes will do the things, but they find a house somewhere else and the realtor sends them to a new loan officer, right? So oftentimes they don't want to spend the money for that, where you guys can offer that same plan, but better to their consumers. So if you have any questions about that, if your market is loan officers, I am a loan officer, so I can give you some feedback on how loan officers think and what they need. And you can be a big benefit to their organization and save them a ton of money by helping them by providing these plans for their consumers. Okay, so we can talk more about that on another time, but I just want to highlight that because it's a big thing right now. Just several months ago, the banks were buying the action plans for the loan officers. So loan officers got addicted to them. They were running the action plans like crazy because they didn't have to pay for it. Well, that was taken away from them because of, the drop in mortgages and stuff like that. So now they have to pay for it out of their own pocket. They don't want to do it, but they want the action plan. Does that make sense? So now you have it and you have a better one. But one of the things I want you to know is, let's say you buy the pro plan, you're paying $3 for this, right? It's a lot less than the acquisition cost that a loan officer is trying to do at over $100, right? So you're paying $3. But here's the other thing. You have different affiliate links because the algorithm is going to identify if the consumer needs something in order to reach their goal. So for this particular person, it's identified, hey, you don't have enough credit for the mortgage loan file. Okay, so this is a demo account because if we had a 750 score, most likely we have enough, okay, for the mortgage profile. So forget that part, but you don't have enough. So if I identify that in the algorithm, then it's going to give a link. That is your affiliate link. So if you don't have the affiliates, I give them to you, but it'll be your affiliate link. When that person clicks on that link, you're getting paid when they get that product or service, right? So it's additional income. So for instance, the credit builder credit card, I think it's what, $15. And if you do more than 3 a month, it's $20, right? You paid $3 for the plan and you made 20, right? This is a section on paying down debt. So it identifies what the goal is, where they're at, right? What they need to do. Now, let's say this is the first month plan, right? This is the first one. Let's say next month we run the plan and they went up. It's going to be in red. It's going to identify, hey, you changed your balance in a negative way. And we can identify, hey, this is the reason that maybe their credit score would have went down, which would indicate up here as well on the change report. If it was a green, then we have a positive change, right? And so we can acknowledge that and congratulate them on their success with that. Open installment account, this person, again, doesn't have a depth of credit file. So with them wanting to buy a home, the mortgage lenders want to see a depth of credit file. So we're offering the builder installment loan, right? The credit builder loan. And again, that's paying, I think my link pays me $12.50 for that, right? So that's another earned income. We also have affiliate link for high yield savings account. So in the algorithm for Level Up Score, when they're wanting to buy a home, we do a couple of different things because mortgage lenders need to see it. So it's not just about the credit score. So I think a lot of credit repair companies get this wrong when they are thinking that they're going to work so hard to help improve the credit score. The mortgage lenders are looking at a lot more things than just the credit score. So if, for instance, if this person came to me at a 750 score, but he had hardly any trade lines, I might not be able to get him a loan, right? Because he doesn't have credit depth. So I'm looking for that. I'm also looking for what we call financial health markers in the mortgage industry. Financial health marker might be a savings account, right? So showing that they have some stability, and it doesn't really even matter if they have much in it. But we offer a high yield savings account in here. This is a link that you can have. It fluctuates. The banks that are on the platform fluctuate and they have different payments. Right now, the bank that I'm referring my clients to on this platform is paying me $87.50 when a consumer puts $5 in the account. It's a pretty good payday, right? But I'm also providing huge value for the consumer. So I think this is an important place to note that you don't want to, Level Up Score is not just putting affiliate links in here just so you get paid, right? It's putting things in here that the consumer might need, right, to help them on their goal. Any questions about this part?
No, I don't see any additional questions on the chat.
Okay, awesome. So a couple things I'll show you too. If you know of any credit repair companies that you think would like to do Level Up Score, you do have your own affiliate link inside. Today, Tanika is going to give you her affiliate link so you can come in, but you guys will have one too moving forward if you have anybody that would like to use Level Up Score. So feel free to do that. We do have support and frequently asked questions on integrating with different platforms. So that's here in this dashboard here. I did want to show you one other thing, because when you integrate with a software that we already have an integration with, so when you link Level Up Score to your software, it's going to automatically bring that client into Level Up Score when you mark them as a client, okay? But if you are needing to manually add a client, you certainly can do that. So it's very easy. You would just go new client. And then you're just going to put first name, last name, email address. You can put the phone number in if you want to. You want to make sure you identify the goal and then specify the language. If you have this on unspecified here in the language section, it's going to default to whatever your default language is in your teams and settings of the white label. Okay. You can also default what the primary goal is. So like for me, most all of my clients are buy a home. Okay. So my default is buy a home. Okay. You can also change the advisor. So maybe, I'm Susie Jones and, this isn't my client, it's so-and-so's client. I might add that person on there. Then their credit monitoring credentials. And we pretty much have every credit monitoring available for your clients. So if we don't have it, let us know, because we would like to get that so we can help you as best as possible. But you would just pick whichever credit monitoring service your client's using, put their username, their password. And if you are using an array product, Identity IQ, no, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's array, Identity IQ or MyScore IQ, you do need the last four of their social to put in there. Okay. And then you hit submit, and now you have a client, and then you would just hit run the report from there. Okay. But again, I'm big on automation. So if you can get that link with your CRM and it can put it in here for you, then you don't have to touch all this. Okay. Any questions about that?
You guys can put questions in the chat, but feel free to come off and mute as well.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah, love to talk to you guys, and we can chat up. It doesn't even have to be necessarily about this. Oftentimes I have people come to me asking, how do I use it? And what do I do with it? So feel free to ask that question. I'll go ahead while you guys are thinking. I'm going to show you another action plan here. I think I picked a different one. Yeah. So I like to show you, this is one of my favorite things that Level Up Score does. And a lot of people don't know about this even, but the student loans can have a real big havoc on the credit score. It can also be for the debt to income ratios for a mortgage product. So Level Up Score identifies that as well. So if a client has, like, for instance, this particular client here, we have a bunch of student loans, and you'll see that she's $93, or he, is this a he, whoever I picked, $93 over the original loan amount of the student loan, right? $93 here, 103. So I could suggest that she pay these down, but if she can't, the other option is she could consolidate these into a new loan. And that could help pick up her credit score, because this is a negative on the credit score. So if she were to click on this link, it will actually walk her through step by step how to do the consolidation. So I don't have to do that for her. I don't have to waste my time on that. They can walk step by step. There's also the SAVE program integration. If you guys are familiar with, the Biden administration created the Save on a Valuable Education plan. And that essentially is lowering the interest rate on the student loan, sometimes all the way to zero. And then also lowering the payment. So that can help with debt to income ratios, and certainly help with getting people out of student loan debt. Okay. So those are some things that it offers, but it identifies, when the need is there for that. Okay. Couple other things, and this is not showing it, but I think it's a great highlight. So in the derogatory section, obviously we're listing, like, here's the accounts that are late or charged off or collections. If there's a collection on the credit report that the company has an internal policy that they will delete it if you settle it and pay it, that is also going to have an area right below the derogatory that'll state that, hey, these are accounts that if you pay them, they'll settle, and if you pay them, they'll remove them. That can be very helpful, especially if you're working with mortgage companies, because they don't tend to like disputes, first of all. Okay. I can tell you that as a lender myself, disputes can really be a bad thing for my organization. So you might bring them back with a great credit score, and I still can't do the loan for them because of the dispute process. So if you have questions about that, I can always answer those questions. But when there's actions that I can settle and pay and get removed to get that loan back to the lender, that might be something that we would do, right? So it would be listed there too. Okay. Couple features that are coming is where the consumer right now, if you send them what I would call the magic link with their action plan, they can essentially come into their portal. They can see every action plan you made for them. But in the future, here soon, they're going to have a place just kind of like this where they can actually communicate with you. So let's say it says open new lines of credit. They could click and say, hey, I did this, right? I did this. And then you have an idea of what they've accomplished. I think it's nice because then they can interact with you. But I do want you to know, when that comes, we're still going to default to what the credit report says, because a consumer can say, hey, I got the credit card, but it doesn't show up on the credit report, and that doesn't help us. Does that make sense? Like, we have to vet it through the credit report, but there will be an area where they can communicate. Okay. There are lots and lots of new changes that are on the horizon. I'm really excited about those. So all of you that are Level Up Score users, you are going to be invited here soon to a private Level Up Score Facebook page, in which we'll be identifying when those new things roll out. We'll also have videos on how to use them. In that, we will also be interviewing different credit repair organizations, how they're doing their business. So to kind of give you guys some insights on how you can continue to grow your business. Because a like I said before, and I was touting about CreditCon, one thing that was what I wasn't aware of is I thought I knew everything, right? And I knew I was successful, but I was very surprised at how much other people knew, and that if I could have incorporated that and learned from other people, I could have been so much more successful and gave a lot, would be able to give a lot more value to my consumers. And so I'm big about, we need to be the best that we possibly can at anything that we decide we're going to do. And I posted about that on my Facebook page today because I got this little reminder memory of when I used to do a lot of loan modifications back after the fall of 2008. And, I really strive to be the best I possibly can at whatever I decide to do. And I just, getting on there, learning what other people are doing really will help you be that way as well. Okay. So I'm done with my spill, but if you have any questions or want me to share something in Level Up Score again, please let me know. I'm going to go ahead and unshare so I can come back to the front page. But please feel free to ask any questions.
Does anyone have any questions about Level Up Score, about the process? I know we already answered some questions in the chat, because if not, then what I'm going to do next is to do my screen share, where I will just come onto the video, and just for my DisputeFox users, because it's my DisputeFox, it's going to be on my DisputeFox channel, just to show folks or newbies who may not be aware of where to go into the software to be able to grab that API to do the integration. Okay.
Oh, yes. Should I show that? Are you going to show where that's at?
Yeah, I can show it that in
Okay.
my account, because I have a demo account, so we're not
Okay.
sharing.
Awesome. Awesome. That'll be great. Thank you.
Shit. All right, so let me mute myself for 1 second. Why should I mute myself? I think it's stopped now. So, oops, I almost hung up on y'all. We do not want to do that.
Don't do that.
I know, right? I'm not supposed to hang up. We're not done. All right. Can you see my screen?
I can see it. Yep.
It's like, can you hear me blink twice? Okay. All right. So for my DisputeFox users, so this is where you will come. This is the dashboard. So in order to grab, remember we kind of talked about in the beginning that it is integrated with DisputeFox, in the sense that when you have clients entered in the system, is this, we just want to I want to stress this, it's clients only, not leads, right? It's just the clients only. Once we have clients in the system, it'll automatically zap them in, for lack of better words. It's going to zap them into Level Up Score. Okay, so I'm talking about
Yeah, and like Tanika said, only when you identify them as a client inside of DisputeFox, then it'll go into Level Up Score. That way you're not cluttering Level Up Score with your leads, right? That's what your CRM system is for.
Right. So basically what you would do is come over to your settings. So we're going to go to settings. We're going to go to portal settings. And then, actually, I'm lying. It's not portal settings, y'all. It's settings, email, SMS, Zapier, right? And then you're going to click on your Zapier configuration, and you would just copy your key and put your key over there and Level Up Score.
And should I share and show where that goes?
Yeah, so get on your end, yes, share it, and you can.
Yeah, I forgot to do that. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me go back into Level Up Score here. So in Teams and Settings, we talked about the integrations. You would come over in the integrations and toggle DisputeFox on, and that's where you're going to put that API key. Okay. Once you put that API key in, it's going to send us a trigger to activate that. Okay. So it's not immediate. When you put that API key in, it triggers us to activate it, and then we're going to activate it. A question that we get often from DisputeFox users is, okay, Allie, are you going to get all my clients out of DisputeFox and put it right into Level Up Score so I can start running reports automatically? I actually just had a client today. He's got 900 clients that he's trying to put into Level Up Score from DisputeFox. It does not do it that way. You would have to send us the, what is it, CVS file? Am I saying that right? And we would then put those into a Level Up Score for you. But once you have that link, when you put a client into DisputeFox and you name them as a client, it'll automatically flow into Level Up Score moving forward. But all the clients that you already had in them, we won't be able to grab those at all until you send us a file, and then we will put those in there manually for you. Okay, so I just wanted to make that clear because that question comes up a lot, especially if you have a lot of clients that you're trying to put in all at one time. Okay. Thank you, Tanika, for reminding me about that. That's
Yeah,
important.
no problem, no problem. That's my one little screen share snippet, because I know, especially for the folks that's gonna play it back, so that you guys know where to go, but on both ends, to get that integration set up. Okay.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions, final thoughts? Did you want to plug in, see real quick before we end it, your group call specifically that you do for Level Up Score?
Yeah, so yeah, thank you. I have a couple of things that are going on now. Obviously, there is a public Facebook page for Level Up Score, so feel free to jump on that. We share information on that too. But if you want like the private nitty-gritty information, that is on our our private page. You do have to be a Level Up Score user to get in that page. But I do group calls with credit repair companies. Again, I've been in the industry for a long time, so a lot of people come to me and they ask me, how are you doing it? So one of my pitches I'm going to tell you today is I do online consultations now. So if you are coming to me as a consumer and you need credit repair help, I'm not calling you, I'm doing online consultations. I can promise you it takes me 3 minutes to do an online consultation, and I can prove it to you on the group call. 3 minutes, and then within a few seconds, they're paying me. I have not talked to them. And the fun part is, and I can teach this as well in the group calls, or I do teach this as well, even with the initial review and the monthly reviews, I'm not calling them. Those are also videos. Those videos take usually about 6 minutes at max. And that's how I do my business. My calendar's not cluttered with clients anymore, right? So, when people got all upset about TSR, it's like, for me, it was the best thing since sliced bread. It's reinvented my organization. I'm doing a lot more volume with a lot less work and time. So people are signing up without ever talking to me. They're doing their initial reviews without talking to me. They're doing their monthly plans without talking to me. They're responding to me in email and in text messages or in their secure portal. It's beautiful, but it saved me a lot of time. I actually get my life back, right? I think, but I'm providing immense value at the same time. So they're not lacking value. Matter of fact, my consumers will tell you, my clients will tell you that the value is extremely higher than it used to be before. Because before I would do my consultations and stuff on the phone, right? They're ordering McDonald's. You know what I'm talking about, and they're not listening to you. And then they'll say something like, hey, I got to talk to my husband or wife about this. I'll get back to you. Next thing you know, they're getting another appointment on your calendar because they forgot everything you already said, right? So we want to avoid that. And then even on the monthly reviews, they had to get on my schedule, and then they wouldn't answer, and we're rescheduling and this stuff. And then when we actually talk, they're not listening because they're ordering McDonald's. And I use the thing McDonald's all the time because it is seriously happens to me every time I would have calls. It would be crazy.
Someone said in the chat, are you doing all this on Level Up Score, or do you have another platform? I guess in reference to the online consultations. I just want to say, since the TSR stuff came out, that is the model that all CROs are moving to, is going, self-sign up on a website and online consultations. So it's different various ways that you can do those, but they want specifically know, the world want to hear how you're doing it.
How I'm doing it. Yeah. So, and that's what the group calls are. So I do those every Thursday. Don't quote me on this, but I believe it's 10 a.m. Eastern time. So that can be sometimes really early for some people. If I get enough people, I can open up another one at a different time. But on those calls, we talk once a week. It's usually an hour to an hour and a half. And let me repeat that. We don't just talk, because I'm an action person. So if you get on my calls, don't think you're going to get on my calls and you're just going to listen and you're going to think you're going to absorb the information and take it home. You will have homework to do, and you have to come back to the group the next time and prove you did the thing. Okay. So I'm very big on that. And the people who are in my group, I have one guy, he's just started his credit repair company again. He's 3x his business, and he's been on my call 4 times. So it works, but there's work. I don't just tell you, I don't give you all the pretty stuff and then let you think about it. We actually do the things. Okay. I do charge a fee for that. That is $297 for 3 months of group coaching. Okay. So if you're interested, you can email me at alicia@levelupscore.com. I don't know if you want to add that to the chat, Tanika. And then I can get you the information about signing up for that. So what's today? Tuesday? So Thursday, this Thursday, we'll have another one. Mhm.
Okay. And then at least for my DisputeFox users, I know I posted this in multiple places, so a lot of people that want to see this is not using DisputeFox. But for those who are, I know on my YouTube channel, I do like free, like independent trainings. So I do show people pretty much how to streamline the onboarding so that you're not on the call for hours doing multiple it's ridiculous. I remember I talked to somebody and they told me they was that consultations and the onboarding, they would take like 2 hours. That is ridiculous to me. I'm like, what? I only have 2 hours for myself personally throughout the day, let alone with a client. But I do know, I can't say too much publicly, but I do know that DisputeFox, I mean, it's really no secret that since that came out, a lot of the different softwares are doing different things to help streamline onboarding. And I know DisputeFox pretty soon should be dropping their version of that. But before they even dropped their version of how to streamline the onboarding process, I had already figured out a way on how to do that. And that is actually already all on the YouTube channel. And that streamlining onboarding video is the most watched video. I cannot believe it's like, I think I put it up like in August. It's like a little over, it's not over, it's like close to 1,000 views. And I had people that tell me like, I watched the video like 7 times so I could go back in my account and recreate everything that you did, because that is definitely a pain point for people. Is like, how can we streamline the onboarding and not do, like you said, even before TSR, because I think for most of us, we don't want to be on the phones, right? So
Yeah.
that and even with the action plan, if you guys do decide to use it for leads, again, you ain't got to talk to them for that either. Like, have them fill out your lead form, do the credit audit. Just keep in mind, because I do want to point that out, like, just keep in mind, if you are going to use it for leads, you will have to like just manually put them in, because it doesn't pull that over. But you can do it, right? And again, you don't have to talk to them for that either. Just email.
And you know, we talk about the streamline process of doing the online consultations. Obviously, that's a huge benefit.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, the other benefit is that you can do it in a way where you can actually convert the client faster than you ever did doing a phone call. And if you think about it for a second, you know, when I've been doing this for a long time, so it was face to face. Like, you came into my office, I had to dress up. You had to, you as a consumer had to come in, sit down with me. We're talking for 2 hours because you're telling me your whole story. But what that did when you were sitting in front of me is it created that know, like, and trust, right? And so that's important. People want to buy from someone they know, like, and trust. And I'm sorry, but that phone call isn't doing it anyway. I can't see your face on a phone call. I can't see your expression. I can't see that you're passionate about what you say you're passionate about with credit, right? And so when I'm doing these video consultations and they're getting it emailed to them, right? They're seeing my face. They can see the passion of what I'm talking about. I repeat their goal. I repeat the problem. I show them exactly what it is that's keeping them and preventing them to getting to their goal. And then when they get that video, they are like awestruck. Like, this is the girl. She knows it. She's going to be my savior, right? But they've already built that know, like, and trust. And if you're a good salesperson, you know that that's the key to converting. And so for me, I know with the online consultation, and Tanika, you can probably say the same thing, conversion rate is drastically improved.
Yeah, I love it. I have people that sign up and they never talk to me. That's even better. Like,
Yes.
I really sold you, because you don't even need to talk to me. You just like, where do I put my card or whatever. And I know I share that story all the time too. I say, I tell folks, I still have my 9 to 5. So for me, trying to juggle, trying to start a business and trying to do consultation during business hours, it's not enough hours in a day to do that while you're still working your full-time job anyway. So
Yeah.
it's ways. We have to get creative, but we can
Yeah.
make it work, make it there.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm gonna check the chat one more time to see, make sure I got everybody's questions. But no, thank you. This is really good. I love this. So for my YouTube channel, y'all, I accidentally closed out the thing, but I think my handle is DisputeFox Queen. I think it's like at DisputeFox Queen on YouTube. If you pull it up, it's like 9 videos. I owe you guys. I kind of slacked off during the holidays, so this is actually the first video of 2025. So yes,
Hey.
next week I'll record another video because I have folks asking me some different questions. But Yeah, so this is the first video and it'll go up on the channel. If not tonight, tomorrow. I'll make sure I have all the links. I'll have her email if you guys want to reach out and group information so you guys can follow up. It'll all be on the video after this.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Tanika. And thank you everybody who's watching this later and has been on this group call. I appreciate
And
you
don't
all.
forget to come to CreditCon, y'all. Come see us. I'm gonna come.
Yes, yes, please
My
do.
first time in
Yeah,
Texas.
we'll have fun. It's always a lot of fun, but it's also, you know, you're going to learn a lot and you're going to get a lot of value out of it for sure.
Yeah, big party.
Yes, big party.
All right, so